That awakening time when dreams end and hope begins. Hope, of course, is really a dream put into a conscious form. And the hopes of horsemen center around this first Saturday in May and the Kentucky Derby.
Come Derby Day, 4 years have gone into the preparation of that horse. Hopefully you can catch that lightning in a bottle.
It's a great feeling to wake up Derby morning. Your training is all behind you. To me, it's the greatest race in the world. It just leads you up to a feeling that gets to you deeper and deeper.
I usually pray before I go to the track. You know, I ask God to keep me safe. I say, God, I never asked you to help me win any race before, but if you can give me today a little push, I really appreciate it.
Lafitte Pincay got that little push in 1984, but today the crystal ball is clouded, the result veiled in mist. Bill Shoemaker comes with a dream of 2 Derby wins in a row at age 55. It would be his 5th today to tie Arcaro and Hardtack for most Derby wins. Year after year, Pat Day has been the leading rider here at Churchill Downs. Why, once he rode 7 winners on an 8-race card, but he's never won the Derby. Wayne Lucas's Derby dream has become an obsession, but he hasn't won it yet, and his 2-year-old champion Capote is the race's big question mark today. Some of these horses cost millions, but Masterful Advocate was bought for $5,500 by a trainer passing the time when he missed his plane. Demons Be Gone charges out of Arkansas like a legend in the making. Is he for real, or at the end of the day, will the demon be gone? Again today, the dream will come true, but for only one trainer, one jockey, one owner, one horse. Soon it'll be time for the call to the post and to sing one song for the old Kentucky home. Everybody's home for this one special day. Live from Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, ABC Sports presents the 113th running of the Kentucky Derby.
Lucas with War, Capote, and On the Line at 6-1. Then the Leroy Jolly train entry of Gulch and Leo Castelli at 4-1. Crypto Clearance, who will break from the inside, is 6-1. And as we continue on now with the saddlecloth numbers, Alysheba is 8-1. Masterful Advocate comes in from California at 7-1. Demons Be Gone is the favorite. That figured 5-2. Candy's Gold, an outsider, along with Chocolate One. Bet Twice, who looked good until his most recent outing, is 11-1. Conquista Rose likes an off track. He doesn't get that today. It's fast, 45-1. No More Flowers at 40-1. And then the field, Templar Hill, Momentous, and AV's Copy. Bet 1, get all 3, number 12 at 9.
Here's Chris McCarron, who will be on Alysheba. Welcome back to the Wars, too, Chris. How do you feel?
I feel great, Mr. Whitaker. Again, like Angel said, I'm very grateful to have recovered so quickly and everything, and I'm just thrilled to death to be here.
How about Alysheba coming out of the bluegrass with all that excitement? What do you think of him?
I think he's got a big shot. Colt's got a lot of talent. He's still maybe just a little bit immature. He likes to play around a little bit while he's running, but I'm hoping with all the confusion and commotion today with 100,000 people here that he's going to forget about playing around and know what the game's all about and do his best.
Thank you, Chris. You have a good, safe, swift trip, too.
Thank you.
With the confidence of trainer Jack Van Berg and the skill of jockey Chris McCarron, who's never won the Derby.
They're all in line. And they're off. Demons Be Gone. Away quickly from between horses. Now there goes Leo Castelli on the inside, though. Capote grabs the early lead past the stands for the first time. From between horses on the line, charging up to get command. Capote along the inside is second, and on the outside, that's Candy's Gold racing third. In the middle of the track, No More Flowers up fourth. Bet Twice is fifth. Masterful Advocate from between horses sixth. There goes Leo Castelli bullying his way between horses seventh. Masterful Advocate, in fact, almost went out. War is in trouble on the inside around the first turn. Capote leads it by a length. Stablemate on the line into second position by 2. Candy's Gold on the outside, third by a head. Along the inside, that's Leo Castelli with Jacinto Vasquez in the irons in fourth position. War regaining on the inside now fifth. Bet Twice is sixth. Masterful Advocate is seventh. No More Flowers on the outside is racing eighth. Templar Hill moving through along the inside ninth. Chocolate One is 10th. No More Flowers back to 11th. After that, it's Alysheba, Momentous, Crypto Clearance. Between horses, Gulch is far back. On the outside, Conquista Rose is 16th. And the favorite, Demons Be Gone, is 17th and last. He's pulling up around the far turn. On the inside, it's On the Line, but on the outside, there by 3 parts of a length. On the inside, Bet Twice finishing second. Havies Company with Mickey Solomoni, part of the mutual field, finishing third. That's the unofficial finish. Jack Van Berg was right. Alysheba did get his confidence back. The mile and a quarter in 2 minutes 3 2/5 seconds. There was a lot of trouble around the first turn, and the favorite, Demons Be Gone, pulled up.
Well, it won't be Pat, it'll be Chris. Yeah.
All right, well, I don't know. I got it squeezed a little bit going by the stands the first time, and I got a little further back than I wanted to be, but he ate up horses down the backside real well. And thanks, Judith.
Chris, you had an unbelievable ride through the stretch. You flipped heels, actually, with Bet Twice, did you not?
Flipping heels. Let's move him, Jess. All right. The horse in the lead, Bet Twice, stuck out right dead in front of me. And I clipped his heels, almost fell. This colt's a real competitor to get up on his feet again like that and go on and win the race.
A tremendously game effort by Alysheba. Congratulations, Chris McCarron.
The winner, number 4, Alysheba, and what a trip. Last year we saw Ferdinand and the great job that Shoemaker did, and this year Chris McCarron puts his name right alongside the shoes, especially holding on down the stretch, flipping heels, and still able to right the horse and bring him from behind to overtake Bet Twice and win it. And we have him isolated coming out of the number 4 hole in blue and white.
Well, Al, this is the horse that we're going to watch the entire mile and a quarter. I might point out that this horse way over here on the left side of your screen, Masterful Advocate, did not have a good start. Really was off slowly and bumped around on the first turn and completely lost chance. Here is Chris McCarron in a beautiful ride with Alysheba, but watch the traffic problems right from the start.
And it was Capote who was able to get to the front early on, but he is squeezed in here, as he mentioned to Charlesy in the interview just following the race, but little did he know that this might be the least of his problems, because there was a lot more to come.
Here comes on the line with Gary Stevens taking command, and you can see that McCarron finds a little room at the ring.
And he settles his horse in a way, it almost reminds you to a certain degree of Shoemaker with Ferdinand last year, settling back on the rail, saving ground.
And just in front and to the right is Pat Day and the yellow cap aboard the favorite, Demons Be Gone. Around that turn, this is where all the fireworks really happened, with up front and with War almost going down with Herb McCauley. And here, Alysheba gets rolling with McCarron.
He gets rolling down the back straightaway as Capote begins to fade. And, of course, at this point, just about at this point, Demons Be Gone pulled up. But Bet Twice got rolling as well, along with Alysheba, as they head into the far turn.
Alysheba has just passed Momentous and is now gaining on the rest of the pack. Here's Chocolate 1, and on the outside, number 11, No More Flowers. McCarron is a master, though, at getting to be the right place at the right time. Finding that little bit of hole there along the inside rail around the first turn helped.
And here he comes on the outside, and this is a horse that was developing a reputation as a bridesmaid. He kept finishing second, he kept finishing third. He'd won only 1 race in 10 career starts, but look at this move.
Did you see McCarron pull a set of goggles down? One must have gotten a little dusty, so he went to a new pair. He's now passing Leo Castelli. This is the horse that had breathing problems, so they had an operation in the throat which allowed more air to get in. Jack Van Berg thought that before that operation it would have affected him mentally. Boy, he was sure clear-headed today, but look at that, almost going down in the stretch and still recovered.
Incredible. Looking at it with a naked eye, I was sure he was going to go off the horse at that point, and not only that, he's able to right him and then come from behind and win it. One of the great rides.
Craig Perrette, who's on the 9 horse, going to the stick. There goes Alysheba again in trouble.
And he's able to overtake him down the stretch and win it in a time of 2:03.2. And so Alysheba, who was ill last month, remember this was the horse that had to scratch from the Santa Anita Derby because he was ill, came back, ran in the bluegrass, and was disqualified. He's had 2 rough trips in a row.
I'm sure a lot of you are thinking inquiry and disqualification, but let's remember that the horse who was bothered through the stretch eventually finished out front, and so of course there was no need for an inquiry or a disqualification.
And there it is, an isolated look at an unbelievable trip for Alysheba. And let's go now.
coming for you, but you won the Kentucky Derby. Congratulations.
Well, I don't think it could have come too soon. An experience like this is just unbelievable. I'm ecstatic. It was a very exciting trip. I had a very rough trip, and the colt was able to survive a little stumbling performance there at the 8th pole and still overcome that. And how he won today, I just can't believe. But I'm really, really happy for Jack Van Berg. I've never ridden for a more deserving horseman to win the Kentucky Derby. He's the hardest working horseman I've ever been around, and I really am very, very happy for Jack.
You're a great 87. Every year it's the same, like a high-stakes game of 10 little Indians. Thoroughbreds on the verge of greatness, perhaps even the Triple Crown itself, in the prize of all. At the end of this day, will another horse defeat him, and then there'll be none? Or will he win the Preakness and go for it all in the Belmont? Go for the Triple Crown. ABC Sports presents from Pimlico Racecourse in Baltimore, Maryland, the 112th running of the Preakness Stakes. The horse with a chance for the Triple Crown, Alysheba, Chris McCarron on his back, returning to Maryland, where it all began for him. Co-favorite at 2-1.
He is ready. All in line. And they're off. Toward the inside, Harriman goes for the lead from the middle of the pack, looking for the big one. Now charges up quickly and takes the lead by a neck. Harriman along the inside is second. Those two duel. Two back at the rail. Bet Twice is racing third. No More Flowers, surprisingly, up fourth on the outside. Then it's a gap of some 5 lengths to Phantom Jet, who's in fifth. Alysheba, the Derby winner, is sixth on the outside. Avy's Copy is racing seventh. Gulch is eighth. And Crypto Clearance is ninth and last, the first quarter in 23 1/5 seconds. The battle continues on the front end, and Harriman on the inside takes the lead by a head. On the outside, looking for the big one. Those two cooking on the front end. It's two back to Bet Twice, who is now clear in third. A gap of 2 and No More Flowers fourth. Gulch beginning to close stoutly on the outside. Alysheba between horses, then Phantom Jet, then along the inside Crypto Clearance, and Avy's Copy now the trailer. As they race down the backstretch, it's still the top two racing as a team, looking for the big one on the outside. Harriman at the rail, a gap of 1.5 lengths, and Bet Twice is poised on the outside third and ready to move on the leaders. Along the inside, Crypto Clearance is fourth and gaining. Now fifth, and Cordero puts Gulch in gear. Gulch on the outside, charging to contention, but it's Bet Twice with Craig Perret, who comes away with the lead as they approach the quarter pole. Now Bet Twice has it by a head. Alysheba is charging on the inside. That's looking for the big one, dropping back. Gulch in the middle of the racetrack, and Crypto Clearance looks for racing room, and down the stretch they come. Alysheba with Chris McCarron on the outside. Bet Twice toward the inside with Perret. It's a replay of the Kentucky Derby, and on the outside, here comes Alysheba. Alysheba is going to win it, taking the second jewel of racing's greatest prize, the Triple Crown. It was Bet Twice finishing second, and Crypto Clearance was third. Alysheba, about middle of the pack down the backstretch, roared through the stretch and comes home in 1 minute 55 and 4/5 seconds. And boy, what a big step to the Triple Crown. There have been only 11 Triple Crown winners, and Alysheba looks like he has the stuff to be the 12th.
Gives me the clue that he might be kind of a lazy sort of colt. He got right there and didn't want to go any further. That's all he gives.
Now, what a nice sentimental story this is. His daddy, Alydar, would surely have been a Triple Crown winner in any other year except that the year he came along. 3 times in the 3 classics, he was beaten narrowly by a firm. But now his son, Alysheba, is 2/3 of the way to the Triple Crown, 2/3 of the way to $5 million, 2/3 of the way to true immortality in the sport of horse racing.
And early on, he'll be back in a pack of 4 as looking for the big one, and Harriman set the early pace, but he's well positioned by McCarron as we take a look at the winner of the Preakness, number 6, Alysheba in isolation.
And he'll be easy to follow because he's got those Jack Van Berg purple blinkers on, as you see right there. Now, Gary Stevens just bounces out to the lead with looking for the big one. There's Phantom Jet, the 3-horse, but McCarron is not in any rush to get up real close at this point.
And he doesn't have to think about the same conditions that existed 2 weeks ago. Again, the field of 17 in Louisville, but here he has a lot of racing room in this field of 9.
And around the first turn,
No chances, no trouble, no chain reaction like the last Triple Crown race. McCarron biding his time and sitting through the early fractions of 23 1/2, a rather slow 47 1 for this bunch, considering that there was a speed duel on the front end as Harriman right up there with Brichelli and looking for the big one. But there's the big move by Alysheba.
There he goes, and alongside with him goes Gulch, number 7. As you can see, Crypto Clearance, and the three of them running in a pack.
Santos is excellent at saving ground and moving up, finding the room, and he is doing just that with the 9-horse right there. And as you can see, Cordero doesn't want to get too tight into too tight quarters, but he's content to let Bet Twice sprint out there, and there with the checkered silks, McCarron is on the move again. And so is Santos there, threading his way past Harriman, and there goes Gulch with a big move on the outside, looking for the big one, and the blue cap is going to drop back.
But as the jockeys like to say, at about this point, you begin to ask the question, and he gets the right answer. And here he comes again, and as was the case in Louisville, this time, of course, without the jostling and the bumping and the physical contact, he's able to take the measure of Bet Twice as they come down the stretch.
McCarron is going to wrap this colt a couple times right-handed, right about there. Watch him switch the stick to the left hand and get a little bit more out of him as he passes again. A very stubborn Bet Twice. What a great confrontation this is now. And the son of Alydar, who finished second to Affirmed in this race. So Alysheba brings it home for the old man. Alydar's son wins the Preakness.
And there he is by about 3/4 of a length. The result is still unofficial, with Bet Twice again finishing in second.
Tough on you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, but he was good.
On, of course, to the Belmont.
Yeah, we're going to the Belmont, and I don't think the distance will bother him. I want to say one thing. I got to get a hold of Charlie Whittingham, my assistant, get a little help. We're going 1.5 miles this time. So.
He was goofing off all week. He wasn't even here.
If Charlie's listening, tell him that phone's going to be ringing. I got to get a hold of him.
We got to take, excuse me, one more look here from ground level, Chris.
Yeah, this is coming right to the wire here, and as you can see, he's really striding out well, and there was, at this point in the race, there was no question about it. There he is, throwing his ears up, looking for some photographers, trying to look pretty.
Well, I noticed, what a wonderful day, and a wonderful day for the state of Maryland. Here is the complete order of finish now, final and official. Alysheba, Bet Twice, Crypto Clearance, Gulch was 4th, AB's Copy was 5th. Moving along, Phantom Jet was 6th, Looking for the Big One 7th, No More Flowers was 8th, and Harriman, the local favorite, was last. So that's the story as of now on the, there are the colors. There are the colors of the Scarborough family being painted on that horse on top of the cupola.
Quarter, here it is, start to finish.
Perdition's Son, the supplemental nomination now up on the inside. Here comes Fortunate Moment one ahead in front. Parochial is close early, and that's Candy from the 1 hole. Mom's Ferrari is next, settling into 5th. Temperate Sill trying to be rated off the pace today, next in 6th. And then it's Alysheba alongside him, and Wayne's Crane trailing the field. 23 1 for the opening quarter. That equals the slowest opening quarter in a Super Derby, and Parochial is going to try to steal this one on the outside. Fortunate Moment is second. Right there at the rail is Candy's Gold in 3rd, and it's a gap of 2. Mom's Ferrari in 4th. Perdition's Son on the outside in 5th. Temperate Sill, the gray along the rail, is next. Alysheba, and trailing the field, Wayne's Crane. They've got 5/8 of a mile to run. And that's Parochial by 3/4 of a length, but there goes the Stroh's Prelude winner alongside to challenge Fortunate Moment. Candy's Gold right there at the rail. He's trying to sneak through on the inside of the top 2. Temperate Sill just off the leaders in 4th. Then it's a gap of 3 lengths, and Alysheba is 5th at this point as the pace picks up around the far turn. And Gary
despite what Jack Van Berg says. Alysheba runs on the Lasix down there, and he is back in the winner's circle.
Capturing the Super Derby in 2:03.1. Of course, earlier he captured the Derby and the Preakness.
For 4-year-olds, they go the classic distance of 1.25 miles. Here is the field now for the Stroob Stakes. Temperate Sill, Charlie Whittingham trained at 7-2. Candy's Goal also 7-2. Alysheba making his debut of 88, the 3-year-old champion, the favorite at 4-5. Rounding out the field on the line, going for the Stroob sweep at 7-1. Masterful Advocate 11, and the long shot Ruperto there. Ready to go in the Stroob Stakes. Let's join the call now with Trevor Denman.
Flag is up. Fields sent on their way in the Charles H. Stroob Stakes. On the line, bounces away in front. Candy's Gold on his inside. Masterful Advocate. Now Bill Shoemaker allowing Temperate Sill to pull his way through at the rail. Temperate Sill joins the leaders. Alysheba is racing back in fifth. The long shot Ruperto can't go with him. He's last by 5. Under the wire with 1 lap to go, and Temperate Sill down at the rail ensures a good pace. On the line second. Masterful Advocate going to be caught a little wide into that turn. Those 3 go quick. It's another 4.5 back to Candy's Gold. Alysheba running up alongside of him, and Ruperto trails. They head to the 3/4 pole. Now Bill Shoemaker got Temperate Sill on that long rein. He's just making his own pace. Slowed them down a little. On the line is Between Horses, and Masterful Advocate on the outside third. A big gap then of 6 back to Candy's Gold. Alysheba another length behind him, and then 2.5 to Ruperto. They head to the half-mile pole in the Stroob. On the line on the outside, Temperate Sill down at the rail. A length and 3/4. Masterful Advocate now dropping back in third. Then a gap of 4 to Candy's Gold and Alysheba. They haven't been asked to go after the leaders, but they're closing in now. They go to the 3/8 pole. On the line, Temperate Sill. Here comes Candy's Gold. Fuller run going after them. And Chris McCarran asking Alysheba. He's going to be caught 4 wide, though. They come to the 1/4 pole. Temperate Sill on the line, but Candy's Gold and Alysheba are just inhaling them on the outside now. They pass the 1/4 pole and come for home. Candy's Gold and Gary Stevens on the inside. Alysheba and Chris McCarran in a match race here. Can Alysheba give this 9 pounds to Candy's Gold? They both very tough, but Alysheba's class is now pulling him through, and here comes a superstar. Alysheba, so impressive as he wins the Stroob Stakes under Chris McCarran by about 3.
Alysheba, the 4-5 favorite, returns 380, 260, and 220, owned by Dorothy and Pamela Scarborough of Midland, Texas. Trained by Jack Van Berg, ridden by Chris McCarran. Alysheba, a $500,000 Keeneland sale purchase, is quite a bargain now. He's won over $3 million in his career, just starting his 4-year-old year. He is by the Calumet Stallion Aladar out of the mare Belsheba. The time of 2 minutes, 2/5 seconds, equal the 6th fastest time in the 41-year history of the Stroob. Let's take a closer look now at the Stroob with a view of rider Chris McCarran.
I had very little doubt going in the race, the way this colt has been training, to work 1.25 miles at Hollywood Park in 2:03 in the morning. That's about how fast they usually run in the afternoon. But he went ahead and showed his stuff this afternoon, and I'm real proud of him. I was kind of hoping today that he might lay a little closer than he was. Usually when horses are fresh and coming off layoffs like that, they'll get a little bit more aggressive in the early running of the race and lay up closer for you. I had that in the back of my mind. I was hoping, and I wasn't going to prevent him from doing so, and that's what Jack instructed me to do in the paddock also, which I was happy to hear, because that was the same strategy I had in mind. But he just went ahead and dropped back like he normally does, because it was a nice honest pace up front. They were flying, and he just legs back and saves himself, and when he knows when it's time to run, he kicks it in.
This race was more impressive than the victory in the Kentucky Derby.
I believe so, because coming off a layoff and having to spot these horses, all the weight and everything, and in the Derby they all carried the same amount of weight as they did in the Super Derby. It's a thrilling experience for me to have a horse come back and improve the way we thought he would. I thought at the end of last year, if he had continued to improve like he did throughout 1987, he's going to be the best horse I ever rode.
Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest Show. What a show this week. Let's get right to the Digest headline stories. It starts with a $1 million Santa Anita Big Cap. It lived up to all its pre-race publicity. The Alysheba Ferdinand rematch. Breeders' Cup Race Recap is brought to you by the Breeders' Cup, promoting thoroughbred racing year-round with the Breeders' Cup Budweiser Special Stakes program. the Premium Awards Program, and Breeders' Cup Day, racing's $10 million championship. And we're going to start with a rematch of that Breeders' Cup Classic of last fall. The $1 million Santa Anita Big Cap, the world's richest handicap race. Here are the conditions. Grade 1, $1 million guaranteed. It's the Classic American distance, 1.25 miles for those 4 and up, run this past Sunday. Now, Bruce Casella and I were both at Santa Anita this past weekend with a special report that includes an ISO you're really going to enjoy. Alysheba's connections, his fan club, as they watch the race. Here's Bruce now to start the coverage this past Sunday at Santa Anita.
It's the richest handicap race in the world, $1 million, the smallest field ever in the Santa Anita Handicap, but perhaps the very best one of all. Let's take a look now at the 4-horse field. Number 1 is Super Diamond, ridden by Lafitte Pincaille Jr., the elder statesman in this 4-horse field. Earnings of over $1.1 million. Super Diamond carries 124 pounds. Number 2 is Alysheba, carrying 126 pounds, the rider Chris McCarron, last year's Kentucky Derby winner. Number 3 is Judge Angelucci, the speed in this race, carrying the lightweight of 123 pounds, ridden by Eddie Delahoussaye. Number 4 is Ferdinand, last year's Horse of the Year. He's the high weight, 127 pounds, ridden by the veteran Bill Shoemaker. Well, I mentioned 4 horses, but really the attention is on just 2, Alysheba and Ferdinand. It's the rematch of the Breeders' Cup Classic, where Ferdinand nipped Alysheba at the wire. Now they're here at Santa Anita in the handicap, winners of 2 Kentucky Derbies between them, and over $6.5 million. Trevor Denman has a great call.
Fields sent on their way in the 88 Big Cap. They all came away to a beautiful beginning. Judge Angelucci goes to the lead. Alysheba second. Super Diamond on his inside, and Ferdinand up on the outside of them. They come down to the wire for the first time, as expected. Judge Angelucci out there on the lead. Super Diamond, 3 parts of a length back, scraping paint down at the rail. Chris McCarron has Alysheba striding smartly right there, third. Only 2 lengths off them today, Alysheba. And then it's another 2 back to Ferdinand, content to trail early. They go to these 3/4 poles. Super Diamond, Lafitte Pincaille's going through at the rail to pick up the running. Super Diamond kicks on with it, but Judge Angelucci goes with him. The pace quickens noticeably as those 2 hook up on the lead. Then it's another 3.5 back to Alysheba. 2 behind that comes Ferdinand. Bill Shoemaker not wanting to get left out of it. He's starting to push a little at Ferdinand. They head now to the half-mile pole. Judge Angelucci on the outside, and Super Diamond at the rail. Nose and nose, and they now clearing off up front to lead by 5. Chris McCarron now gives a loose rein to Alysheba and asks him to go after them. Ferdinand and Bill Shoemaker moving up on the outside. Now they take close order as they pass the 3/8 pole. Alysheba's been asked and he's responding. Alysheba takes the lead, but Bill Shoemaker and Ferdinand immediately up to take them on the outside. Alysheba and Chris McCarron pass the quarter pole in front in the big gap. Ferdinand coming after him. Super Diamond and Judge Angelucci now drop back. They come below. Alysheba, Ferdinand, come on with him. Come on with him, McCarron. And they go. Ferdinand and Alysheba. What a race this is. Just what the fans wanted. Ferdinand, Alysheba, only one of them. Alysheba and Chris McCarron win the Big Cup by about a neck and
Alysheba, owned by Dorothy and Pam Scarborough, but that was the head of the household, Clarence Scarborough Jr., cheering their champion home to victory. Here are the results now. The son of Aladar, Belsheba, avenging his Breeders' Cup loss to Ferdinand. Alysheba, a $500,000 Keeneland sale purchase, maybe the bargain of the century. We'll tell you about that in a moment. With the victory, he becomes Thoroughbred Racing's 3rd all-time winningest at over $3,695,000. Here's another look now at the Big Cap with the comments of Alysheba's rider, Chris McCarron.
I honestly didn't know what to expect. I just figured that there probably wouldn't be a real fast pace because Judge Angelucci is such a nice, responsive horse where a rider can get him to relax when he's out there all by himself. And Eddie had slowed it down so much that it put me and Super Diamond a lot closer to him than if he had actually really busted out of there and showed his good speed. But Eddie's concern was to get him to relax, and he did that for him. And when Super Diamond hooked him with him at the 7/8 pole, they just sailed out away from me around the turn. I didn't want to get that far out of it, but at the same time, I didn't want to move Alysheba at that point because then they'd have to run the rest of the race. I was real happy when they up in front of me had to run the rest of the race from there. So that worked out to my advantage. I gave a little peek to my inside of the 3/4 pole, and I didn't see Ferdinand, so he must have been directly in behind me, so I would have really had to taken a good look to find out where he was. And then at the half-mile pole, I knew exactly where he was. He was breathing right on my back, on my outside. And Alysheba just pinned his ears and took off when Ferdinand got to his number cloth, and he just, when he made the lead, he threw his ears up and was waiting for Ferdinand to get a little closer to him. And he just, he ran real hard and had to run hard to hold him off.
Did Bill Shoemaker say anything to you as he came down the lane?
No, I don't know. I couldn't hear. I was screaming. Ah! I was screaming at the top of my lungs, and the only thing I could hear was right towards the finish. I could hear the crowd just going crazy.
Chris McCarron said, no doubt about it, Alysheba is the finest thoroughbred he has ever ridden. You're talking about one of the regular riders of the great John.
Is Trevor Denman.
Fields sent on their way in the San Bernardino. Alysheba breaks smartly, so does Ferdinand. Now here comes Good Taste to take up the running on the outside. Foreign Legion goes with him between horses. Nostalgia Star drops back to trail by 4. They head to the 7/8 pole, and that's Good Taste out there on the lead, but Chris McCarron not happy with the pace. He takes Alysheba off the rail and goes to put some pressure on Good Taste. Ferdinand is right there, just a length behind Alysheba as they go to the 3/4 pole. Foreign Legion races 4th and 4 back to Nostalgia Star. They pass the 3/4 pole, and Good Taste getting on with it now out there, leading at a length and 3/4. Alysheba going along very comfortably. Chris McCarron just perched up on him with that long rein right there, second. Bill Shoemaker going to go up and try and keep him in there, though. There's Ferdinand going up to put pressure on them now. 4 behind that, Foreign Legion and Nostalgia Star. They pass the half-mile pole. Alysheba still doing it so easily right there between horses. Chris McCarron still sitting on him, but he's going quickly now. Ferdinand's going to go up and take him on, though. And here's the match race we've been waiting for. Alysheba at the rail. Ferdinand alongside. 127 pounds each, and they're going to go nose and nose for the wire. A length and a half back. Good Taste is trying to hang tough in 3rd. Heads a turn for home. Ferdinand on the outside, and Alysheba. Neither rider's asked for a full effort yet. Ferdinand on the outside puts his head in front. Alysheba trying to come back at him. Good Taste running a huge race on the outside. But it's Ferdinand and Alysheba. Nose and nose for the wire. Good Taste coming on the outside. Alysheba going to get there at the rail with Ferdinand. Alysheba has won it by a nose.
That's what's known as living up to advanced billing. Alysheba by a nose over Ferdinand. And what about the new player in the game, Good Taste?
He finishes 3rd in a game 3rd he was. Had the lead, lost it, and came back again. The final time, 1.
Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest, the weekly national report on thoroughbred racing, is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers and proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By the Naira Net, the New York Racing Association simulcasting network. And by Lanes Inn, sponsor of the Thoroughbred Digest Trainer of the Month Award. Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. We're glad you've come back to get your spot on the rail for our weekly recap of thoroughbred racing action and news on the Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest. Here now are our headline stories, starting with round 8 of the rivalry. Alysheba Bet Twice meet in the Island. Bournemouth Park, the setting for our Breeders' Cup feature race of the week. The Island, the 53rd running. The purse doubled this year to $500,000 to attract a great field of horses. Here is the field for the Philip Island Handicap. Bet Twice at 5-2 with Pret 123. Make a decision with Scratch. Gulch with Cadero at 2-1, 122 pounds. Slew City Slew at 7-1. Then it's the big horse, Alysheba, even money. Chris McCarron, high weight, 124. Back Bay Banquet, Bolshoi Boy round out the field for the Island. Here's the call from Dave Johnson.
They're all in the gate. We're ready for the start. And they're off. From between horses, Slew City Slew, but now that's Gulch. And at the rail, it's Bet Twice. Slew City Slew with Marco Castaneda now takes command by a length. And Gulch on the outside is second. Bet Twice along the inside rail is racing third. After that, it's Back Bay Banquet in fourth position by 2.5. The favorite, Alysheba, is next. And Bolshoi Boy is the trailer. Castaneda looks under his arm to make sure that nobody is gaining on him. He has the lead with Slew City Slew by about 1.5 lengths. Gulch on the outside is keeping Bet Twice right there at the rail in close check, and then it's a gap of 4 lengths back to Back Bay Banquet, who's fourth at this point. Then comes Alysheba and Bolshoi Boy. The first quarter in 23, the half in 46-2. Moving down the backstretch, it's still Slew City Slew holding the lead by 1.25 lengths, and now Bet Twice shakes loose and gets the second spot by a head, and Gulch is alongside with Angel Cordero Jr. aboard in third position. It's 8 lengths farther back, and now Alysheba begins to make his move. He takes fourth and has dead aim on the top 3 as they round the far turn, 3/4 in 109.4. Now they're bunching up on the front end. Slew City Slew has the lead by a head. Now there goes Bet Twice. Craig Perret asks for speed and gets it. And it's Bet Twice leading the way by 1. Slew City Slew second. Gulch is third. Here comes Alysheba on the outside fourth. They're in the stretch. Bet Twice has the lead by 2 lengths. On the far outside, here comes Alysheba. The rivalry continues. And down the stretch they come. Bet Twice on the inside. Alysheba on the outside with McCarron. Coming to the wire. Alysheba to the front. And to the front easily as McCarron guides it to a 1-length victory with Bet Twice.
Alysheba now ties up the rivalry 4-4. First time he's gotten by Bet Twice since the Preakness. Alysheba, the $500,000 Keeneland yearling, owned by Dorothy and Pam Scarborough, trained by Jack Van Berg, ridden by Chris McCarron. Bet Twice second. Another $50,000 Keeneland yearling bargain there, and Gulch was third.
They're all in line. They're all. And 49er has gone for the lead. It's Alysheba on the outside, moving into second. Alongside is Wakwait. Wakwait now gets the lead by a half. Goes clear by a full length. 49er on the rail, second by a half. On the outside, Alysheba is third by a length. Then Roy Normand, a personal flag, Tellingham, crypto clearance, and Brian's time is 8th. The field now approaches the backstretch. The first quarter in 24-1. Wakwait has the lead by about 2. 49er second by a neck on the outside. Alysheba right alongside in third by 1.5 lengths. Then Tellingham, Roy Normand about 3 to personal flag. Then crypto clearance and Brian's time down the backstretch. Wakwait has the lead still by a half. 49er second by a neck on the outside is Alysheba in third. 1.5 lengths to Tellingham and Roy Normand, about 4 to personal flag, 4 to crypto clearance and Brian's time. The half in 47-3. They continue down the backstretch. Wakwait on the rail gets clear now by a full length, then 49er second by 1.5 lengths. Alysheba has dropped back. The field now enters the far turn. Walk White still leads by a length and a half. 49er second by a length. And Alysheba on the outside. Tallinum has made a move, as has Alysheba. Alysheba on the outside now moves into second alongside 49er. Tallinum joins those two. They round the far turn. Walk White still has the lead, but there goes 49er on the outside. Tallinum between those two is Alysheba in fourth. They approach the top of the stretch. 3/4, 11-1. Tallinum, Alysheba, 49er, Walk White remain across the track, and they're followed by Roy Normand, then Crypto Clearance and Brian's Time. They're in the stretch. It's Walk White on the rail. On the outside of Walk White is 49er. Farther out is Alysheba. Then Tallinum. Here comes Personal Flag on the far outside. Behind the leaders is Roy Normand. They pass the 8th pole. 49er gets ahead in front. On the outside is Alysheba. Walk White remains in third on the rail. Alysheba now gets the lead. 49er is second, then Walk White. It's Alysheba in front.
5 horses, less than 2 lengths. Great handicap. Bruce had someday. First, he almost had a triple dead heat. Then he had these 5 horses close at the wire. But 10% of the winner's purse, and I think they should have given him 20, goes to Chris McCarron.
Yes, outstanding ride on Alysheba, and we really can't ask Alysheba to do any more than he's done. He's now won on the West Coast, he's won on the East Coast, with and without Lasix. He is doing everything, and it would be a very tight vote right now if Horse of the Year was decided now between him and Personal Lens.
Well, it'll all be decided the first Saturday in November. Frankly, I thought it was a superior race. I didn't like Alysheba going in, and my reasons were quite simple. I didn't want him as a heavy favorite. He wasn't a heavy favorite. He was 9-5. Horse had never won in New York. Why take him? He did win in New York, but take nothing away from the other horses. They didn't run very fast. Wacoit did a wonderful job. He took the lead, and they laid very nominal fractions, slow. Pat Day dropped in with 49er, let him go, but it was in a perfect position. But McCarron, sensing this, didn't stay way back where the one-move horse would want to be, but he moved into that duel, staying about third on the outside and letting his horse relax there. Had he waited in the back, as the other riders did, he would have blown the race. And I think that McGahee's got another horse that ran very well. Take nothing away from Personal Flag. He made the only move from behind and actually was in the hunt at the end. It was a super race. It lived up to everything, and I don't know what we can do.
Budweiser racing across America. Tonight from the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, it's the Grade 1 Meadowlands Cup. $100,000 the guaranteed purse. They go the classic American racing distance of 1.25 miles for the Thoroughbreds 3 and up. Sheba, the 3-5 favorite. Scratch Mascio, Slew City, Slew 5, and Bet Twice at 3.
They're all in line. We're ready for the start. And they're off. And from between horses, Alysheba, there goes Slew City Slew, and on the extreme outside, Bet Twice. Now Slew City Slew with Lafitte Pinkai Jr. taking command by 2 lengths. Bet Twice on the outside is in the second spot. Alysheba, tucked in at the rail, is racing third. Then comes Pleasant Virginian fourth, and Crypto Clearance is the trailer. The quintet moves past the stands for the first time. And on the front end, Slew City Slew has the lead and skims the rail by 3. Bet Twice a bit wide on the first turn. Craig Perrette keeping him in the second spot, and then 2 lengths farther back, it's Alysheba, who holds third by 2 lengths. Pleasant Virginian is fourth, and it's 4 lengths back to the trailer, Crypto Clearance. The quarter in 23 and the half in 46 and 1, and quite spread out. The field moves down the backstretch, and Slew City Slew has the lead,
by 5 lengths. Bet Twice is second by 4, and Alysheba is third at this point. Then a gap of 3 back to Pleasant Virginian, and far back the trailer is Crypto Clarence. 3/4 in 1:09 and 2 as they go to the far turn. It's still the front runner, Slew City Slew. In command by 3 lengths. Bet Twice is second, but Alysheba is in gear now and on the outside, inching up a closer third. Pleasant Virginian is fourth, and far back Crypto Clarence. Now as they move to the top of the stretch, Slew City Slew with a 1/4 mile to go has the lead as he has from the start. Alysheba on the outside is gaining ground in second. Bet Twice is now third. Along the inside, Pleasant Virginian fourth. The battle on the front end. Slew City Slew at the rail, and Alysheba on the outside. And down the stretch they come. Alysheba puts ahead in front. Chris McCarron aboard. Alysheba has the lead by a neck. Slew City Slew second. Here's the finish of the Meadowlands Cup. Alysheba by half a length. And the time, sensational. 1 minute, 58 and 4/5 seconds. It destroys, breaks, shatters, breaks the scale. Alysheba, this is some champion.
In 2:10, and Pleasant Virginian, the longest shot on the board, leaving Bet Twice and Crypto Clarence behind as he finishes in third. There's Chris McCarron, the rider, of course, rode John Henry. Now he's on Alysheba, closing in on John Henry as you take a look at him coming down the stretch. He'll go to the Breeders' Cup Classic as the favorite. He now has over $5 million. He can win $1,350,000 more by winning the Breeders' Cup Classic. It would put him as Thoroughbred Racing's all-time leading money earner. He goes to the Breeders' Cup looking for the record as Alysheba wins the Meadowlands.
$3 million Classic coming up, and 8 of the 9 starters are Kentucky breds. No lights at Churchill Downs, so they'll be racing in the November dusk of a cool, damp day. Exciting day it has been.
And here's the way the betting will begin for the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic. The 3-year-old 49er, hoping to be champion of that division, is 7-2 as the wagering begins. And the favorite, looking to be perhaps horse of the year, Alysheba at 6-5.
5 out of the 6 winners today, Kentucky breds. We've examined keywords and...
Drama surrounding the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic. The star attraction was the 1987 Kentucky Derby champion, Alysheba.
Determination this year, a lot more perseverance, much more businesslike.
The other half of Alysheba's team was Jack Van Berg, the world's all-time winningest trainer. With a victory in the Classic, Alysheba would surpass the great John Henry to become the world's richest horse. McCarron, who rode them both, compared the two champions.
As far as the relationship goes with their personalities and so forth, they're great. They're both real competitors, real champions in their own right. Both just fantastic horses to be around.
But this was Alysheba's time in the spotlight, and Jack Van Berg shared the moment with his superstar every step of the way. And while Alysheba stepped onto the track, Van Berg could only head for his seat to watch and hope. As the nation's most popular horse took his final warm-up.
Proud mother, and as Julia's been riding in New York, she waves after every race, letting her mother know watching in Florida that she's with her.
Here's the post parade now for the Classic. Personal Flag, who is a brother to Personal Ensign. He defeated Wacoit in the Grade 1 Suburban back in July. Always close, though I don't think he's going to like this off track. The other half of the entry, 1A, is Seeking the Gold. He's a 3-year-old, worse than second only once in his career when he was 7th here in the Derby. He's lost twice by a nose to 49er, whom he grew up with at Claiborne Farm. Number 2 is Wacoit, Dick.
Yeah, this Cinderella, the glass slipper, might just fit for this New Englander.
He is named for a small town on Cape Cod, the first New England-based horse to have won over $1 million, trained by 70-year-old Guido Federico and owned by his cousin Joseph, who put up $360,000 to make him a supplemental entry. He has speed. He loves the slop. Number 3, Slew City Slew, another speed horse, the first Wayne Lucas entry in the Classic. Pushed Alysheba to a neck in the Meadowlands Cup 3 weeks ago. Lafitte Pincaid picked up the mount here after he was taken off 49er for failing to cross a New York picket line. And look who will be right next door, 49er. Bidding to edge Risen Star as champion 3-year-old. 49er is a picture of courage and consistency. The only time he was worse than second in 12 starts was in the Preakness when he engaged winning colors in a speed duel. He's won 4 races by a nose. He'll be retiring this year. Number 5, Lively One, a late-running 3-year-old colt who tried to give Charlie Whittingham back-to-back classic wins. He hasn't won since July.
Well, Alysheba, the favorite for Horse of the Year, coming to Churchill Downs today, but with Personal Ensign winning again, Alysheba almost has to win.
I agree. He probably has to win to be Horse of the Year, but he knows how to win here. One of his greatest moments here at Churchill Downs in the Derby when he recovered from a bump that nearly knocked him to his knees to win the race. He's won 6 of 8 this year, set a track record in each of his last 2 outings, and a win here would make him racing's all-time leading money winner. Sloppy track, not his best surface, though. Cutlass Reality is the 7-horse. He's also a supplemental entry. Cost $360,000 to get him in. After a single victory in 1987, he's now won 6 of his last 7 races at 4 different tracks. And number 8, Crypto Clearance, 5th in last year's Classic. He dances every dance, usually gets a piece of the purse with a strong closing kick.
5-1, Wacoit. Bet down to 5-2. Slew City Slew at 16-1. 49er. 7-2, the third choice. Lively One a long shot. Alysheba the favorite 8-5. Cutlass Reality a big price at 15-1, and Crypto Clearance 19-1. They'll be running for $3 million.
Be uncomfortable for the fans, but no danger to the horses. The big question here is Alysheba, can he handle an off track? The last time he raced on an off track, the Travers at Saratoga last summer, he didn't run a good race. $1,350,000 to the winner. It would make Alysheba the winningest horse of all time.
He would pass John Henry up near the $7 million mark. Well, last year denied by a nose, Alysheba. Let's see about 88. Let's go to Tom Durkin.
The day to crown champions. Now time for the jewel in the crown, the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic, and they're off. Slew City Slew breaks alertly, and 49er is moving right with him. Wacoit is out for the early lead now, and Cutlass Reality on the outside. Alysheba's come out 5th. And as they pass beneath the Twin Spires for the first time, it's the gray New Englander Wacoit with a short lead. Slew City Slew is running right with them early. They're moving at a lively pace now. They've opened up 5 lengths on Cutlass Reality 3rd. Alysheba is off the rail racing 4th. Then farther back, 49er has been taken back in 5th position. And the 2 Phipps color bearers are running together, seeking the golden personal flag. Then a gap of 4 lengths back to Crypto Clearance, who's allowed to settle in an early gallop. And Lively One trails the classic field as they make their way into the backstretch. Wacoit pressed all the way by Slew City Slew. Those 2 continue as a speed duel continues on down the backstretch. Cutlass Reality is 5 lengths off them in 3rd. It's another 4 to Alysheba now, who is 8 lengths off the lead. And just to his inside, 49er now. Julie Crone asking him for run. A half-mile out. And now the field moving for the far turn. It is Wacoit now beginning to shake loose from Slew City Slew. Cutlass Reality is moving in closer 3rd. Alysheba begins to roll now. He's making his move as they round the far turn. And then Personal Flag and Seeking the Gold are both moving together now as they come to the top of the stretch. Crypto Clearance is kicking in now, and he's moving into contention. He's just 5 lengths off the lead. Then it's Lively One. 49er is now the trailer as the field comes to the top of the stretch. It is Cutlass Reality and Wacoit. Alysheba set down for the drive. Personal Flag is moving through an opening toward the rail. Seeking the Gold on the outside. They're coming to the final furlong. Wacoit is tenacious. Alysheba is right there. And on the outside, Seeking the Gold. Alysheba with a short lead. He's unyielding. Seeking the Gold. A final move as they come to the wire. And Alysheba, America's horse, has done it. Alysheba returns to the site of his greatest victory, and he does it here again at Churchill Downs. Alysheba wins the world's richest horse race, and he's now the world's richest horse.
Alysheba today, with any of the other great races you've been aboard him?
Oh, this is the best horse by far I've ever ridden. There's no question about it. It's difficult for him to impress people because he never wins by very far, but he always has a lot left. Thanks, Junior. He always has a lot left, and he's just content to win by half a length.
Chris, how about the darkness itself? Did it ever bother you?
It didn't bother me any because he went under the lights of Meadowlands last time, so he's a good night horse, too.
And the track itself, was that a concern going out?
It was a concern to me, yes, because we've scratched him a couple times because of mud, and he's never breezed well in the mud, so it was a concern to me. But this track is in fantastic shape for the amount of water that they've received. I want to commend the track superintendent here. They've done a fantastic job.
Well, congratulations to Chris McCarron, Alysheba, and Personal Ensign. The two horses that came here today, the great Alysheba and the filly Personal Ensign, both answer with dramatic.
49er now. Julie Crone asking him for run.
All right, baby, turn on. Turn on.
Alysheba begins the roll now. He's making his move as they round the far turn. And then Personal Flag and Seeking the Gold are both moving together now as they come to the top of the stretch. Crypto Clarence is kicking in now, and he's moving into contention. He's just 5 lengths off the lead. Then it's Lively One. 49er is now the trailer as the Alysheba set down for the drive. Personal Flag is moving through an opening toward the rail. Seeking the Gold on the outside. They're coming to the final furlong. Walk White is tenacious. Alysheba is right there, and on the outside, Seeking the Gold. Alysheba with a short lead. He's unyielding. Seeking the Gold, a final move as they come to the wire. And Alysheba, America's horse, has done it.
It was a time for Jack Van Berg and owners Dorothy and Pamela Scarborough to rejoice.
Alysheba wins the world's richest horse race, and he's now the world's richest horse.
For Van Berg and Alysheba, it was a long road to the Breeders' Cup Winner's Circle.
Congratulations. Boy, this is great.
And while Clarence Scarborough congratulated...
He loves that stuff. Look at him, he's eating it up.
And so, as America's horse came to the winner's circle for the final time, there was only one title yet to be his.